not use swords, right? But just getting back in this game, we're going to have Warrior versus Tempo Mage from RDU.
Seriously, nothing has a sword in a Warrior. And they have so many weapons.
Sudden realization, Brodan. Yeah, it's a good realization.
Yeah. All right. Ysera and Dr. Boom are two of the slowest cards, but this is not Mech Mage. This is Tempo Mage. And this is a different scenario here. It's also really late in Europe, so I wonder if fatigue will start simmering for these guys. Clearly not for someone like RDU, who's been on the wrong side of the sleeping schedule for quite some time now, because he's been playing in NA tournaments for a long time. In his words, farming the American boys.
Ooh, shots fired there, certainly.
And Sjow, I mean, it's around the same time zone as well. Right now, it's 6, or is it 6 p.m.? 6 p.m. Pacific, which means it's around 2 to 3 a.m. in Europe.
Now, we haven't seen Tempo Mage doing that well against Warrior, but Warriors have been drawing fairly well, I feel. Sjow actually looks like way more stressed of the two, and I think that's because RDU has been in so many grand finals and he's won so many tournaments, whereas Sjow, this is actually his first finals match. His previous best result was actually 4th place in the Well Played Cup, and that was quite a while ago.
I really like this move that Sjow did. He armored up. Armor Smith most likely will have low to no impact, and even if you do have a decent play with Armor Smith to pick off something, you needed to use Mirror Entity so that way cards like Sylvanas don't get copied. Really
very
good
nice
decision.
Yeah, it's just these like very small things that I've
yeah, they're so tiny. Like, do they actually matter? But they do in the long scheme of things, considering Mirror Entity is in hand. If Mirror Entity never saw play, ultimately it wouldn't matter. But it's good habits. Because otherwise, it's like turn 2. What else do I do? All right, Death Bite. Do you want to pop the Shredder or you want to pop the Sorcerer's Apprentice?
you probably want more stuff off the field, so I feel like the Sorceress is a nicer one to pop.
Plus, there are ways for that to punish you with the Pilot Shredder. You attack that, you get a Noyatron, and then the Death Bite doesn't work.
Yeah, exactly the situation that Sjow was setting up for.
Yeah, Armor Smith.
Wow.
Shut it down.
This is actually a
and
really
Acolyte
great turn.
of Pain. Wow, that's really big. And he gets armor and cards and wipes the minions off the board.
Yep, Sjow just Warrior godding it up.
Yep. What's gonna pop out of the Shredder? Maybe something to help.
Oh, Lore Walker Cho. So like we've said before, Lore Walker Cho is actually just really bad for the mage usually, or just really bad for the player that has Lore Walker Cho, because Sjow can decide to kill this Lore Walker Cho anytime he wants, whereas RDU, he pretty much doesn't have a choice unless he Frostbolts his own Lore Walker Cho, giving his opponent a Frostbolt as well.
How does he deal with it? Like, it's really funny because half his hand is full of spells, and if he picks up Unstable Portal, he doesn't want to play it.
Very true.
I feel like we are in for some shenanigans this game.
Yes.
Because of Lore Walker Cho.
This is
They got Unstable Portal. Okay, it's Sylvanas time, right?
Yeah. Fortunately for RDU though, he has like a curve into 6 and 7.
I mean, so does Sjow.
Yep.
Someone's gaining a lot of armor, man, because of Baron Cannon.
Also, Sjow isn't at the advantage because he has Shield Slam in his deck.
Oh, right. Normally, Shield Slam is useless to your opponent, but because Armor Smith's on the field for your opponent, he does have the ability to use Shield Slam.
It's pretty sick. It's like RDU's playing Priest right now. He stole the he stole the Armor Smith with Cabal Shadow Priest, and then he thought still Shield Slam if Sjow ever decides to use that card.
This game is so weird. I don't even understand like who's gonna win or who's ahead. I feel like Mage is in a decent spot because of the pressure, but like, you know, how do you use all your spells unless you're trying to kill your opponent, right? Okay, here's the thing. Now you finally have to have removal. So now it's time to kill Cho because you've introduced the threat.
Yeah. Now you can just kill off Cho and then brawl, and you're in a pretty good position, I feel.
Jeez. Would you want to kill the boombots first at all? No, actually, you want the boombots to survive, so that Sylvanas doesn't steal it.
I guess you.
So then attack the
you could attack
Armor
the
Smith
Armor
twice
Smith
to draw.
Actually, yeah, Sjow can just play it slow. He can actually just kill off the Sylvanas, kill off the Lore Walker Cho, and then like shield slam the Dr. Boom. Doesn't he have to rely on a brawl? I have to say, I think Sjow is in an amazing position at this moment.
Yeah, he scales so much better into the late game than the Tempo Mage does, and I really like his sequencing on almost everything so far. He's playing Warrior excellently. So whatever it takes, almost inconsequential because he's going to be able to brawl and shield slam whatever comes out next. Or, yeah, that also works too. Shield slamming and then Baron get it. There's so many weak things.
Yeah, I like the decision to brawl because Lore Walker Cho has locked out spells from both players that it's very unlikely for his opponent to have too many mains in his hand right now. So I don't think you're going to get value from brawl any other time in this game.
There's not really time to play shield block either, so just go ahead and back up to 30.
Yeah, but
now
these players are kind of competing at who can get more armor. Shield Maiden from Unstable Portal. Ooh.
Trade picks Gallywix? Alright.
That's...
Well, you want to Unstable Portal first? Oh no, you counterspell, so then your opponent can't kill him. But if you counterspell, do you get a spell anyways from Trade Prince?
You know, I have to say, I have never
You've never seen this, Monk? You don't even, do you even play Hearthstone?
I guess not. It's been revealed. Secret's out.
Okay, both players are smiling because they have no clue what's going on. The funny thing is you still can deal with it with the Big Game Hunter.
Yeah. No, I guess he's testing for Mirror Entity first. He can just Sylvanas.
But he can't... No, he can't actually steal it. Alright, so he just holds on to it.
That's probably fair.
Alright, Mirror and... sorry, Unstable Portal.
Into...
Silence.
Felguard.
It stalls. Yeah, it stalls.
Sure, why not?
It stalls Sylvanas. In fact, you can even justify using a Frostbolt here to try to stall out even longer. Yeah, I don't mind it at all. You have to calculate your damage too. I guess you just ping because you want to save your burst, maximize your damage.
So now it's likely for Shield Slam to possibly Shield Slam the Sylvanas, maybe? You do have to use a different spell though first in order to activate the counter spell.
I think Sjow also recognizes that there's Ragnaros in this deck too. He just refuses to play any spells. This is pretty funny. Laughing Sister, definitely not the card you wanted. 5-8, 9-10, that's 18, 5 short. If only that Flame Cannon could have gone to the face, he'd still be 1 short. And of course, there's Looming Sylvanas ready to steal whatever you put out.
I do feel like Sjow needs to start playing a little less greedy right now. He's really close to lethal, or being lethal rather. And plus the...
He's gonna Frostbolt Ysera. Frostbolt the face!
Yeah, might as well get that in this turn.
So, is there a way for him to guarantee a steal on the Trade Pinks Gallywix? I feel like there is. So, if you Cruel Taskmaster your Ysera, and then attack into Sludge Belcher, kill off the 1-2, and then Sylvanas afterwards, you steal the 5-8.
I feel like Sjow might not really care too much about what he steals. Like, this is still okay for the taunt.
Okay. Is it time to just Big Game Hunter this thing down? Because you have so many ways to remove? I think so. Trade Pinks has done so much damage already. It's so funny that Counterspell's been up, but he's just been avoid playing all spells like the Plague. You might as well just toss in Laughing Sister. Toss her in the center somewhere. Okay.
Alright, so now you're at 13, and Fireball top deck wins RDU the game.
You're right.
Aww.
No? Wrong 4-mana minion, or 4-mana card.
So unfortunately for RDU, that was pretty much the only chance that he got to top deck something. Afterwards, Sjow will be able to armor up to 14, because RDU will probably ping the face this turn. And Fortune, unfortunately, is out of lethal range for double fireball.
What did he kill?
An unknown minion. What was there?
Cool task? No.
The second cruel task, possibly?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that was it.
Well, RD is going for Ragnaros. Ragnaros is his last out.
That's true. But is this enough? I don't think so.
4, 7, 9. Yeah, not even close. There's still a chance. It's a very, very small chance. But if RU gets Ragnaros and somehow magically kicks it over, like he arcs it over this entire wall of incredibly powerful minions,
I think
can win.
to actually play around Ragnaros, that might have been a misplay. He should have played Harrison Jones into Laughing Sisters.
You're right.
Flame Strike.
No, Flame Strike's not it. So RDU looks like he's dead. There's no way around it.
Yeah, might as well just Flame Strike, give your opponent the Enrage Grom, but wow.
Nah, you need the information. Information battle.
And Sjow once again takes the game, and does that actually make this deck a lot on ladder? And he's having a lot of success for it, so maybe RDU is the original Tempo Mage boy.
I mean, Forsen is also played Tempo Mage a lot. I think he's perfectly fine. If anything, I felt bad because Forsen today just got awful draws. This series lasted a total of like 10 minutes.
I completely agree, especially in that Tempo Mage versus Phase Hunter game. That was just so sad to watch. Forsen had no plays until he was dead, basically.
It's just part of the risk that you bring. Ultimately, if you have a bad draw, sometimes it happens, but you know that's something that you have to account for when you're bringing a deck. So if it doesn't have the most consistent of draws, in the end, it's not really anyone's fault but Ben Brode's.
Yeah. Speaking of inconsistent draws.
What is this draw from Druid? Nothing to do? Alright. Looks like Tempo Mage has got all the time in the world. All Sjow has done with 6 mana is gain 2 life and deal 2 damage. Can you imagine a card that says 6 mana, deal 2 damage, gain 2 life?
Shield.
It's strictly worse
Drain life.
than Drain Life. Well, it gets you gain 2 armor.
Yeah, gain 2 armor, so it's not strictly worse than Drain life, right?
Pretty dang close.
Okay. It's pretty strictly worse.
I wonder if you can really mess with your opponent and just play counterspell here to try and make him seem like you're playing. I guess you could also just coin.
Yeah, you could just Sorcerer's Apprentice, even coin counterspell.
But you can't play anything in next turn. It's not really worth the bluff, honestly, if there's really nothing to back it up.
Yeah, this is just the more consistent play. RDU knows he doesn't have to rely on mind games to win this match, or this game rather, because he's in a favorable position already. So if he just plays safe and standard, like the turtle, then he'll be probably able to take this.
Alright, let's see what the Flame Cannon can do here.
Hopefully not a minion that has 4 attack and 4 health like the...
Yeah, like No Health Mana Storm, which we've seen a few times. Well, it's 4 health.
That's actually fairly good for Sjow.
Yeah. It stalls out a little bit more.
Oh.
It stalls out a little bit more so that swipe can be effective.
What to do? What to do?
Do you throw in a hero power here, or do you be more mana efficient with the counterspell?
You're going to be playing the Sludge Belcher next turn, although if you save the coin, you have Emperor Thaurissan. You know what? What's that Emperor or Mistress of Pain going to do? It's just an Armor Smith.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, I guess that's right.
Until it Savage Roars.
Yeah, you don't,
your dreams.
as the Tempo Mage, you don't win or lose this matchup based on health. You win it because you got out-tempoed and the board builds up way too much. Oh, this is surprising.
I think he really wants to bait a swipe out. Because he played a secret, it's really difficult for Sjow to interpret whether or not this is Mirror Entity or Counterspell.
Does he really want to swipe, though? Because if he swipes, then... let's say it's Mirror Entity. If he swipes, then he puts both Counterspell and Mirror Entity onto the field, and that's even more of a dangerous position.
So middle of the road is to attack and then play Shade and guarantee it.
Oh, that's interesting. Okay.
So now he knows Counterspell is in play. Shade grows a little bit more aggressively. And now we have the Coin Emperor. That is nasty. And I feel like RDU is going to very quickly run away with this game. Because you can't actually play spells against this because his Counterspell's up.
Yeah.
Counterspell with the Emperor up is nuts.
Yeah, there's actually no way to remove that unless a lot of Innervates are drawn. Or just one, actually. Wild Growth? Actually, yeah, Wild Growth is really nice to proc Counterspell. I have to feel that maybe Sjow doesn't feel he has to get rid of this Emperor as fast as possible because there's actually not that many cards in RDU's hand. So he may be thinking that RDU isn't getting the most value from this Emperor as possible.
Oh, Unstable Portal still costs 1 mana because of Sorcerer's Apprentice. It's not a bug. And let's see what comes out. A Gruul!
Come on.
For exact mana. Do it.
No, you want to play it.
Do it now. Alright, well, first he attacks. Oh, he doesn't want to get big game hunter.
I mean, that is fair.
Also, he wants to protect his Emperor.
He can get a cheaper Gruul next turn, too. 4 mana Gruul.
Ridiculous.
Oh, Innervate could, oh, actually, Innervate is great.
Innervate swipes.
So all secrets have been eliminated from the field. And this swipe will be just pretty amazing.
But can he deal with the Gruul? Should he have attacked first? Loot Hoarder.
Loot Hoarder is good. Loot Hoarder is great because it allows him one more chance to draw into the Big Game Hunter against the Gruul.
Now he's got Mana Worm, Flame Strike. Oh, it doesn't need a Flame Strike, actually. Gruul is so cool, though. I want to see Gruul. Do it. Do it now.
We said that last turn, and he didn't listen to us.
Do it, RDU.
Hear us from across the space
Stop, try RDU. All right, Gruul coming down. It goes every single turn. It's like well, everyone compares Shade to Gruul. They called it Mini Gruul for a while. But then they saw Gruul so often, a lot of people might legitimately not know what this card does. It was actually one of the. I think it was my second legendary that I ever opened.
Frodan reminiscing to his old days.
And I tried to like make it work for so long and just.
I actually tried to make this work in Control Warrior back way in the day, but unfortunately, it just didn't really pan out. Wonder why.
Yeah.
Senjin Shieldmaster. That's not it.
Still has Spell Power Swipe though.
Yes, this Spell Power Swipe is really bringing Sjow back into the game. Usually when Druid is facing a formidable board, there's no good way for him to clear it, but Spell Power Swipe is probably one of the only ways. Having this Azure Drake really stick on the board for an additional turn is actually really huge as well.
He can, let's see, if he Savage Roars, he can swipe the Pilot Shredder and then attack the Druid, or attack the Gruul with, okay, anyway, he's gonna go with that sequence. Completely fair. It's very safe. Play the Shield Maiden. I was thinking about if you use Savage Roar, he would have given up a clear board though.
Oh, Ragnaros. Now you saw that Sjow couldn't deal with the Gruul, so it stands to reason that he can't deal with this Ragnaros again.
I'm scared about what comes out of that Pilot Shredder because RDU didn't trade it in first. But he did position it correctly, I suppose.
Yeah.
It doesn't really matter too much. 5 health remains, and there's still no Big Game Hunter for Sjow. Can't even Wild Growth for it. His best chance might realistically be just to heal up and try to see if he can outlast his opponent.
I don't think you can win the game if you heal up though, so... Sjow definitely had to be going for some
Doomsayer?
Doomsayer shenanigans. Ruby and Egg.
Not even close. Now the problem is, RDU can't necessarily just ping and try to go for this, because Ragnar still only does 8 damage.
He can just Flame Strike though, clear the board and guarantee 8 damage to face, so any Fireball or Frostbolt top deck will win him the game in the next turn.
What to do? What to do?
Oh,
It
but
feels like a little excessive, right? Sludge Belcher still is good. He proven that he can't really draw, like doesn't have big game hunter, and more importantly, like there's really nothing that Druid can do because he just gave up another card draw mechanic.
I still like this slightly better, I feel. Just relying on any of those top decks to win the game seems perfectly okay to me.
Well, he has a board clear. Well, not a board clear. He has a way to deal with it. Instead, he's going to go with the chance that his opponent does not have the exact card to kill him.
Yeah. So
I like it because he has Force Nature Savage Roar.
yeah.
Oh, the
unfortunately,
guarantee.
Fireball is top decked. If that wasn't a Fireball, then it was possible that Sjow could have taken the game in the next turn. Although, to be fair, RDU still had the Sludge Belcher in his hand.
Yeah, I really like that aggressive.
We'll see if kind of the same ends up happening here. Ooh, that's not very good. Getting Mad Scientist and Mirror Entity in your opening hand. That being said, though, like if you don't draw the second Mirror Entity, you can kind of guarantee 2 Mirror Entities coming out on the field, which are really great against Druid. RDU does have the Wild Growth on turn 2, though.
Wild Growth into Shade. Mad Scientist. Now, the thing about the start, like you said, is that it's not about how you start off. It's about continuing to ramp you up in the mid game. And the Shaded Naxxramas here is important to contest whatever comes out.
Yeah, fortunately, Sjow is able to draw into some pretty good cards, curve really well, and he still has the threat of two Mirror Entities coming up against the Druid.
Well, that's assuming this Mad Scientist dies sometime soon. Well, I guess you might as well just start building up the board again while you can. 2 Savage Wars. Yeah. Not exactly the best hand here for RDU.
Maybe RDU is thinking that because a Mad Scientist is on the field, if RDU doesn't run Zombie Chows, which I don't believe his Nilium Druid deck does, Shade might be the smallest creature besides Keep the Grove that you can run into Mirror Entity. So he might be thinking of clearing this Mad Scientist and just dropping off the Shade so he's able to play some creatures later on in the game.
So he doesn't even want to give him any kind of mech synergy whatsoever. RDU swipes to prevent Sjow from being able to benefit off
That's
of
also fair. If the Spider Tank is still on the field and Goblin Blast Mage comes down to deal 3 damage to the Shade, it'll pretty much be game over. But now Sjow just curving out fairly well. Slow and steady winning the race.
Wrath to just remove. And then if it's a pretty innocuous minion, he can just drop Shade as well. Yeah, fairly innocuous minion. Patient Assassin, you know, I talk about that card all the time about being dropped and being just so powerful, but I rarely ever see it in play, in action.
Well, here it is. Just to show you what it's worth. Unfortunately, it won't get too much value. I guess it can just kill off this opposing Shade. And that's fair enough.
So many stealth minions on the field.
All we need is that Giblin Stalker.
Yeah, and the Gruul. So that way you can stealth the Gruul with Master of Disguise. That was like the ultimate. I did that once in Arena and I felt like a god.
Super Shade.
Because then everything just grows in the stealth. It's pretty fun. Snow Chugger and... Well, I guess he's thinking about Mirror Entities because it's coming up on 6 mana. Snow Chugger gives him more resilient board though. Yeah. Put out just the most stats as possible.
Yeah.
Seems highly reasonable.
It's actually really good against the current hand that RDU has.
Not to mention that
Ooh, Sludge Belcher.
He can answer anything that comes out though with Patient Assassin.
Oh, that's true.
How amusing is that? Patient Assassin can actually kill literally anything that doesn't have Divine Shield. The best counter to Patient Assassin is like Sunwalker.
That's great. But against this mage, it's not even a good counter because the mage can just ping.
Yeah, this is really bad news for RDU.
Oh!
Goblin Blast Mage, that's exactly the kind of card that he wanted to pressure and still develop a minion. Wait, is he? Oh, he's gonna.
Oh, this is actually better.
Yeah. So that way he
Just
can
setting up the
copy
mirror
it
entity.
himself.
Now he's like RDU is really locked out of any creatures he could play. He basically needs a swipe or like a zombie chow at this moment. This Ancient of Lore will get copied, and it'll just die immediately to this Patient Assassin.
Basically stealing the card. Pilot Shredders.
Yeah, this is probably the best option, dropping the Sludge Belcher. It's the most defensive. It leaves off a 1-2 slime, and it doesn't give his opponent a creature that's very offensive in nature. Hydra Drake is another good one.
Yeah, there's no minions to benefit off of Goblin Blast Punch at the moment.
Mech Warper, okay.
It's time for the Patient Assassin to strike.
He certainly was very patient, just staying there for 2 or 3 turns. Wow, Pilot Shredder is such a good card.
Pilot Shredder's
Pilot Shredder just killed a Sludge
absolutely
Belcher.
insane.
Pilot Shredder just got its revenge. Normally it's the Belcher that contests the Shredder, but
It
now
also killed
Shredder's like...
something else in the process too. I think RDU's drawing. There's the swipe, but way too late. 11, 13. Yeah, this is way more than enough damage to kill. Right? Yeah.
3.
Yep.
Yeah, certainly.
So we've got
Actually,
game number 3.
1 over lethal. So now, Sjow is up 2-1, and with 1 game left, all you need to do is draw decently well with the Druid, and
To show why, Druid starts off with no wild growth yet, but that can easily change. RDU does not look amused in the slightest.
oh, but
Innervate is nice.
Innervate plus Emperor will be a very nice combination, even though that RDU does have Pilot Shredder. This, I would say, RDU's hand is slightly better with 1 Innervate versus Sjow that has... he has a Shade of Naxxramas, but the 2 Keepers are pretty bad in the matchup.
Yeah, I guess all you really do is silence Emperor and also Sylvanas.
Yeah. You can also, like, silence Pilot Shredders as well.
Yeah, it's fine.
But then the Pilot Shredder trades into your Keeper. Oh.
I guess you don't really even feel a strong incentive to coin the Shade of Naxxramas because you're just trading the coin essentially for a 1/1 buff.
Yeah.
The coin becomes a banana.
Aw. Feeding your Shade some bananas. Not a sentence I would say. I thought I would
No?
ever say in my life.
Very true, Monk. Don't think there's anything else to do this turn, so you just Hero Power Pass. Shade Naxxramas does become the first thing he can play then. What a really passive early game. No wild growths. Of course, what's going to happen is that the turn you want to do something is the turn you draw wild growth. That's just how the tendency goes.
And now the almighty Emperor will not come down?
He's going to innervate Dr. Boom instead.
I think
If there's
that's very
anything
fair.
that you can forego innervating the Emperor out, I think innervating Dr. Boom.
Thank
If you
you.
innervate the Emperor out, then your opponent can answer it because he has Shade of Naxxramas. And then Dr. Boom only costs 6, so you still have to be a couple turns away from it.
Okay.
But Sjow does have the big game hunter.
Yeah, this is actually going to be very nice for Sjow. The boom bots, though, will do a lot of work.
I mean, things are growing, though. The Shade's growing, and he can hero power down a minion as well, the Boombots. It's a risk, for sure. If RDU senses that he has the opportunity to capitalize on this and utilize Dr. Boom effectively, he'll be in a great spot. But Sjow has the big game hunter, which means that it's going to come down to how the Boombots are going to impact the rest of the board.
Mm-hmm.
If it shuts down a Shade Naxxramas, then he'll be in a really good spot.
I feel like with this line of play that RDU opted for last turn, playing the Pilot Shredder on 4, he's kind of almost committed to this Innervate Dr. Boom, so I like that he's sticking with this plan, even though it will get punished.
All right, well, a combo, full combo comes into the hand of Sjow, which gives him the strong initiative. Let's see where the Boombot lands. Ideally for Sjow, it'd land for him for 1 damage. And it's going to go towards the Druid of the Claw, hit it for 4.
That's slightly unfortunate.
But, you know, either way, I still feel like it makes it a little bit awkward, right?
Slightly, but now, like we said before, like Keeper typically doesn't get value, but Keeper can potentially get value here.
Oh, yes, you're right. Shuts down everything.
I must safeguard the light.
He wanted to avoid taking damage at all costs.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
Because he could have hero powered and dropped the pilot, but he didn't want to drop down to 17.
Yeah, maybe he thinks he's at too low a health, and his opponent could possibly have the combo.
I mean, I'm
Unfortunately
inclined to agree.
Not that great of a turn here, but Sjow will have really strong follow-ups. Dr. Boom into possibly up to 2 combos. RDU does have the big game hunter in response, though.
Right. And now he can go for his own tempo swing.
Is it time for the Emperor once again?
It finally might be time for it, because then you can squeeze in some really powerful plays the following turn. Azure Drake and Pilot Shredder become 7 mana. Even Big Game Hunter gets cheaper, so that way you can do Sylvanas plus that.
Okay, again, RDU opts for the more safer play, like he opted for last turn. Just trading these minions off.
All right.
That's a decent one.
Yep.
But
Shrinkmeister not didn't do much.
RDU, you're killing me.
Not putting it in the center?
Yeah.
Is that killing you? He's still taking damage by doing this. He's doing this to snowball the board. And, yeah, it's more consistent with his line of play if he's going to not take the damage.
This board is actually really solid against Dr. Boom, but what swipe is drawn, so he might not even see Dr. Boom here. Although
Dr. Boom is still really good for the curve because you're going to be...
Yeah.
You have the mana next turn to swipe and Keeper.
You're also taking a fairly aggressive stance, especially with the cards that you have in your hand.
It is tempting to think about the swipe, though. There's so many 1-health minions.
On turn 8, you can also Keeper plus swipe, so that'll be an excellent play, just against this board.
Yeah. Oh, not the best boom bot. And that Spider going to try to take the hit, and does kill off the Keeper of the Grove. Still a scary moment, though, because that Dr. Boom can do way too much damage. So he's going to have to innervate out in Big Game Hunter. And Sjow, what is he going to do, man?
Is it time? I guess he'll definitely have to swipe here. Swipe and...
Wow. He's got 2 full sets. In fact, he's got a handful of pairs.
That's interesting.
He's winning at Go Fish, but he's not winning in Hearthstone.
Yeah. Hand of pairs and a swipe kicker. Okay, so... Oh. Okay, I don't think that's too impactful. So yeah, he's just setting up the board for lethal right now, and it's up to his opponent to be on the defensive. Ragnaros is drawn, but I'm not sure how impactful that will be. If either of the keepers survive, that's game over.
Either of the Keeper?
I have no time for
If one of the Keepers survives, he's
Yeah.
still going to be short a few damage points, right?
Oh yeah, sorry, he's going to be 2 off.
Ragnaros becomes 7 mana. All right. Finally, something better than Dr. Boom for 7 mana. Maybe.
So at this point, I guess you could use the force combo to clear and hope your opponent doesn't have any refill. Or you can put enough damage on the board or onto your opponent's face so
Right.
that the second combo will kill him off. Both very possible lines of play. Both very good, I would have to say.
Yeah, the Emperor you'd kill off. I guess you'd kill off the Drake too, right? And then you'd attack the face and put him down to 10. No, so the damage spacing out is a little bit awkward. Imagine if you can transfer 1 damage from that tree ant to the face, you kill off the Monty Berserker.
Yeah, it's just creatures with odd numbers of health are really difficult
Here's
for
the
the combo
problem.
to deal with.
Here's the problem. If you knock him down to 14 health, you can just hero power, and then you put yourself out. So I think you got to go all in here. I mean, this is the winning move for the tournament, Monk, if he just hits face with both. He's got to make a decision. He's got like 3 seconds left.
Oh, he does it. He commits.
And now RDU has to draw Ancient of Lore. No.
That's not it.
Nourish can
Nourish.
get it to a taunt. I mean, it also could be the case where RDU doesn't feel like he's dead. He's like, well, no, he has to think something's fishy. He's like, he thought so long about if he's doing damage or not. No,
Oh!
he goes to Ragnaros.
Ragnaros
And
comes
that's going to
down.
mean Sjow will be your Xfinity Hearthstone Invitational
Oh.
champion.
Sjow gives a fist pump because he knows he's won his first Hearthstone tournament on Complexity Gaming.
A moment of rapture as Sjow is now a champion in both StarCraft 2 and Hearthstone. Officially, he's gotten so close a few times. But a job well done. And already... oh.
Oh, man.
Salt has never been more plentiful in Romania. Hardy was like, oh, I can't believe you have both full combos. And what a great moment for Sjow fans. It's showtime.
Yeah, certainly showtime now. And we had a great show for you today. We had a great show because Sjow won.